What is up, everybody? We are live in the booth, and we are going to talk about right relationships. And when I say like right relationships, I just basically mean righteousness, right? So righteousness, I would say refer to the 42 laws of Ma'at, to like kind of get into righteousness, what it is, like the teachings of Christ, and things like that, because that is going to lead you on the path of righteousness. Because I think that the path of righteousness is like an individualistic path to a certain degree, but there are um, what do I want to say? There are guidelines. There are things that you can go by in order to kind of achieve that for you. And I hate that I don't want to keep moving my camera, but I'm kind of just impromptu outside, and so yeah. Um, Relationships, right? Relationships. So, the interesting thing about relationships is they're one size fits one. There are really no relationship, I guess, like things that you want to try to implement in your relationship just because someone else implemented it into their relationship. Unless these are like kindred spirits, people who you feel that you're attracted to for a certain reason, and they kind of follow the same like mindsets that you would about relationships. So because I think that right now we have relationships like, oh, that's relationship goals, and this and the third, and but then when you're in love with someone, like a lot of people are very quick to leave the person for something that they've done. I think that we see so much about um, like boundaries and what we deserve, and you shouldn't put up with this, and you shouldn't put up with that. And there are some things that are definitely hard boundaries for people. There is a lot of abuse. There is a lot of narcissism. There is a lot of just fucked up shit going on in relationships, right? But like there are also closed mindedness. For example, so divorces, 50% of divorces or relationships, period, end in finances and infidelity. So first, let's talk about infidelity. So infidelity could be you texting your boo, when you left the club with your homegirls, you left the club with your homeboys, you texting your old boo, and you like, hey, I'm finna come over. It could be, hey, you meet Jenny at the store, and now you and Jenny are having full blown sex things, and now you got to go over to Jenny's house. It could be, dang, your old boo when you left the club, y'all smashed, and all the while you're in a relationship. All the while, you already have a significant other or a person um, who you already have built that covenant. So what we don't do is when we go into relationships, we don't be like, okay, so how you feel about if I fuck off? How you feel about if I talk to somebody else? How do you feel like what should I be doing with those desires and those things that I feel? Because I love, men that look a certain way. And just because I'm dating a guy, or this goes for you, just because we're dating someone doesn't mean that you lose that. No, that nigga still gonna be fine. That she's still gonna be bad. Like all of this is still gonna occur. You know what I'm saying? So what changes is the fact that you're in a relationship, right? That's what changes. But the thing is, those desires don't go anywhere. Those desires don't go anywhere. So, you know, how let's talk about how do we respond? Like what's too much? Like can I still holler at her? Can I still holler at him? Like is there gonna be a thing? Can I still, like just interact a little bit but not go too far as getting numbers and stuff like that? Can I get numbers and then, just not going just discussing what the right relationship looks like for you, because just because someone has desires or anything for someone else doesn't mean there's something personal towards you. Because I've been on both sides of the relationship block, being cheated on, and then someone cheating on, and then me cheating on someone. And so, what I'll say is like neither one of them are, a good place to be, because I feel as though, like both, like either way, is still like hurtful. And so I think having those conversations at the beginning of relationships, hey, is this a one-on-one relationship? Like, is this a monogamous relationship? And a monogamous relationship is really you being with that person for an extended period of time. Like, monogamous is actually you being with that person for an extended period of time. Sorry, now I'm yeah, all that. So you being with this person for an extended period of time, and you just being with them like for life, like life partners. But now we're in the divorce culture where you just with that person today. You just with that person this week, this month, this year. And then, oh, this person could do this, and then next thing you know, you're gone. Like, somebody could cheat on you, and you're like, oh, I'm worth more than that. I mean, worth more than what? Because did you have those conversations at the beginning? Do you know why they're cheating? Do you know what they're getting out of this other partner? Um, do you know that it doesn't, what is it really? What are they seeking? Because a lot of times people are seeking things in others that they need within themselves. So it's not anything against the partner, the person who cheated. It's something within them that they're expressing. So it's not personal. It's not really. I mean, it's personal because it's person to person. That's what I always say when people say things aren't personal. I'm like, is it person to person? Then it's personal. I don't, But it's not dependent on your value in the relationship. It's not dependent on your value as a person, as a partner, as a man or a woman. Just because someone chooses to step out, that doesn't make your value any less, right? So that's one thing in relationships. Relationships are ending because of infidelity, cheating, humans interacting with other humans, and it not being a part of the agreement that you and that person have come to an agreement with. Now, for me, I like my dude to just be my dude. You know what I'm saying? I would like to just be his girl, his woman until look up like until, which this has never happened for me. This is just me having ideals and idealistic things that I just post up there and like, oh, that's cool, but until we say otherwise, you know what I'm saying? If it's going to be something else, especially with like a marriage, because I would like to kind of go into a marriage as whenever I do get married, as I guess just a partnership, like a real partnership. Like, this is a friendship that we are choosing, because marriage is supposed to be a lifelong commitment. Supposed to be, but by society structure and conditioning, no, it's not. So going into it with like just knowing that this person is gonna be my friend for life, and so then that leads me to divorce, and how divorces are like really ugly, and breakups and stuff like that are really ugly. Like, people go through a lot of hurt, people go through a lot of pain when they could have just switched their perspectives in relationships, made the relationship a little bit user friendly for both parties, and just kind of release societal conditioning based on what we think a relationship is supposed to look like, and what it's supposed to be like. So infidelity being one. And then the second thing being finances. Of course, we need money. We love money. We want to spend money. We want to, do whatever we can with the money. Like, yes, we do. We want to, and we do. Like, we love money. And I do too. Like, it's a wonderful part of my life. I thank God for money. However, when you're in a relationship with a human being, with another goddess, money, what is money? What is money to what is money to the universe? Like, it's not, it's important, right? Because we want to be practical, and we want to, you know, and that's the reason why marriage is formed, for practicality. Like, let's just, you know, it's practicality. We're going to bring our resources together. We're going to do this on a day-to-day basis and be practical, you know, and we're going to, you know, build together. Hey, you're a good partner for me to build with. That's what marriage is about, you know, truly. And of course, you love that person, you know. But, like, if you love them, you respect them, you see them as the universe that they are, like, just the beautiful creation that they are, then money will come. You know what I'm saying? Like, money will come, money will go. If that's how, you know, y'all stuff is flowing, I don't know. But it's just like, ask ourselves, like, and they just say finances is so broad, so I don't know if it's the man making more money and he tired of taking care of her, if it's the woman, you know, making more money, or, you know, somebody spending the money crazy and they just can't stop spending the money like this, or, you know, somebody then lost their job or lost their career, lost their business, bankrupt, you know, I don't know. I guess it's all of those things that could be happening when it comes to finances. But how can our perspective change around, like, that moment in time with finances? Like, how powerful would it be? And I don't necessarily have to experience this or want to experience this. But, you know, I try to put myself in those feelings, like, when I speak on things, you know, just put myself on what would be the right thing to do. And remember, when I say right, I'm referring to righteousness. I'm referring to Christ consciousness. I'm referring to 42 laws of Ma'at. So when I say the right thing to do in a relationship, you know, if there is love there and there is both people that want to work on it, you know, what other perspective can we start looking at from finances? How can we make more, if that's the issue? How can we you know, divvy it up in a different way, if that's the issue? If you spending too much money, how can I put my money somewhere and you put your money somewhere, so that way you could just utilize your resources, because it's not fair to me. You know, just how can we be more independent with our needs and what we need to feel safe, what we need to feel happy, what we need to feel, you know, great within ourselves. Be more independent in that, so that we can actually be interdependent with the other. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on that. Relationships is like a thing for me, as far as just all types of relationships. And just like, I'm a super analytical person. I'm always self-analyzing. I'm always, you know, like, just going in and being completely honest and about myself. And so I do that, you know, to others naturally. But in examining relationships, you know, I just wanted to briefly speak on how can we start to have better relationships and more right relationships. And infidelity and finances being 1 and 2 of the reason why marriages end, divorces happen, separations happen, or people, you know, that have been in long-term relationships just break up. And so just examining that and really, you know, saying, well, dang, you know, did we do enough perspective shifting? You know, were those things said at the beginning of a relationship, you know? Were those guidelines drawn? Did we have those conversations? Did we actually have conversations before getting into a relationship about who we actually are, what we are bringing to the relationship, and how this could in turn, you know, affect the other? So all of those different things when speaking about right relationships. And also astrology can help with those things. If you have not booked a reading with me, you can book a reading with me at www.empressangemperor.org, where we're all about holistic health and making holistic health accessible and convenient for all, period. That's all we want to do. And so with that, we have myself and other astrologers who actually will do your reading for you, do your natal chart reading, and kind of get you where you need to be as far as knowing thyself a little bit deeper. And then we're also tying in health into it. And that'll be available soon. Not quite just yet, but it just rolled off my tongue. So yeah, so book your readings at empressangemperor.org, your Know Thyself readings. And also, with this being said, we're talking about relationships. Also book your synastry reading, because synastry is how your planets are talking to each other's planets with you and your partner. And because it's funny, because a lot of the readings that I do that are one-on-one readings, they end up turning into relationship readings. So I know you all want to know about your relationships, you want to know about your partners. So let's start shifting those perspectives and really diving into arts like astrology, and just like righteousness with the Christ consciousness, and also 42 laws of Ma'at. So yeah, that was pretty much what I wanted to say about right relationships. And let me know in the comments like how you feel about right relationships. Let me know like, how are your perspectives staying the same, or how are they shifting in order to make your relationships work, in order to, make it work with just the people around you? Because we all know that like being by ourselves, and we were supposed to be completely by ourselves. And I'm not talking about necessarily boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationships necessarily. Any relationship is a relationship, and we have so many of them in our lives. But if we started to shift our perspectives on them and communicate, up front, or communicate thoroughly through the relationships, like, hey, A, B, and C, maybe that could help on relationships being a little bit better. So I love you all, wishing you all love, wishing you all peace, wishing you all abundance forever. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Of course, this is YouTube, so I feel like you're not a YouTuber unless you say like, share, subscribe. So yeah. So also check out the website, for your readings and synastry readings too. We have holistic products, more coming soon, and more community stuff coming soon. Just, being the ruler of our own destinies, living life with no regrets. And love y'all. Y'all have a good one. Mwah.